Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So let's jump right in. I have some chicken breast here that I cut up into cubes, and here I'm adding some seasoning. So I had some onion cut up, some scotch bonnet pepper, garlic, scallion, and a pimento seed that I crushed, and I'm just adding all of that to the meat bowl. So here I am adding a sprig of thyme, or maybe it was more than a sprig. But yeah, just seasoning my chicken. I'll be showing you guys all the seasonings, but feel free to adjust it to whatever you like. I just season it based on however I'm feeling in the moment. So yeah. For me, when I'm cooking, sometimes I like taste the meat seasoning just like this. Now I've never gotten sick from this, but if your stomach is not strong, I do not suggest it. So also disclaimer, I'm a very picky eater, so I may or may not omit or add something that you guys may not eat. So take it with a grain of salt. Feel free to add or subtract whatever you don't like. And yeah, this is just my version of it. So over here I have some water boiling. Go ahead and add some salt. This is for the pasta, obviously. Yeah, girl. I also add oil to my pasta water. It gives it a better taste and it also helps it to not stick. So I added some there and just let it come to a boil. So once your water is boiled, you can go ahead and add the pasta. I think everybody knows how to make macaroni, but yeah. I'm adding it here and I just stir it occasionally just so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. And I leave it slightly covered. If you know, macaroni has a tendency to boil over, so we don't want a mess in the place. And yeah, this is the finished pasta. Just showing you what it looks like. So moving on to the chicken, I have my saute pan here with some oil that I let get hot. And guys, you want to keep your pot handle on the inside so you don't accidentally bump it over. Yeah, so just adding the chicken here, and this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just making sure to get all my seasonings out of the bowl because I think it gives the oil some more flavor. So yeah, just judge it around a bit and leave it to cook down. Also, I decided to add some sweet peppers in at the last minute, so that's what you see here. I just used 2 small sweet peppers and cut them into a decent size. So yeah, this is what it's looking like. Well, smelling good at this point. So on to the fun part. I'm making my roux sauce, and I used 3 tablespoons of butter. Any butter that you have can work. You can use butter, you can use margarine, you can use chiffon, you can use anchor, no matter. And yeah, just let that melt completely, like all the way. Then we're gonna go ahead and add the flour. So when you make roux sauce, you want to have the same amount of fat that you do to flour. So if you use 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of flour. Once you add that flour in, make sure you're whisking it, and I'd suggest having all your ingredients on hand because it goes by pretty fast. So in a second I'll add some milk. I'll tell you in advance I add 1 cup of milk. I used Lasco, of course, and yeah. Just whisking that in, and this step is pretty repetitive. Just whisking, then you'll see me with my spatula, just making sure I get all that flour from the bottom of the pot and making sure there's no lumps. You don't want any lumps, people. So that's what this action is. Me just like here I was getting some lumps, no ma'am. So going back in with the whisk, whisk, and you can have this on, like, if it's the first time you've made this, I'd suggest doing it on low heat, just because like I said, it goes pretty fast and it can get pretty thick pretty fast. It ended up getting too thick on me, so I'll show you what I do to combat that. But this is what you want the consistency to look like. So here it was a bit too thick, so I added about maybe a 1/4 cup more milk. And if it does get too thick, remove it from the stove and just whisk in that extra milk. It will come back, it will be fine, don't worry about it. And you could use it that thick, but I personally like when the consistency is a little more flowy because it spreads easier over your pasta. So for the roux sauce, people use this typically for baked macaroni and cheese, which is what we're doing today. Or if you do Alfredo pasta, I'll be doing a video on that soon. So yeah, that's basically what it's used for. And as you saw, I added my seasoning just to give it some flavor, because otherwise it's pretty bland. But yeah, so that's basically what it should look like when you're done with it. Try to get as close as possible so you could see. And there I was just tasting it to see if I liked it. Going in with some cheese. I used mozzarella, but you could use cheddar, you could use tasty cheese, you could use any type of cheese you want. Once it melts, it's ideal. And yeah. So now that my sauce is ready, I'm ready to add it to my macaroni. So I just use my hands to pull it apart. It's been sitting for a while, so it tends to like stick together. So I go ahead and pour in my sauce and just fold that in. Tell me that no look nice. Guys, if you follow me on Snapchat, by the way, I always post whatever I'm making on my Snapchat first, so go ahead and follow me there. And here I have 1 egg that I whisked, so I'm gonna add that in. The egg is more so to bind it all together, but I mean, I like it in there. You don't taste it, but if you don't want to use it, feel free. So yeah, adding my chicken in here. I'm getting everything out and just folding that in. So guys, I had a greased pan. I don't know how big this was. This is the biggest size I have in my house, so that's what I used. But yeah, just kind of estimate it. I had 2 cups of macaroni, and I think this was a 14 by 11 baking pan, I think. But yeah, so when I say grease, I mean I just rub butter on the base of it just to make sure it doesn't stick, so don't forget to do that. And I'm kind of OCD, so you see me like trying to get it as flat as possible. So yeah, sprinkling some cheese on top because you know, never enough cheese ever. I love cheese, guys. Cheese is life, honestly. Sorry for those who are like lactose or vegan. I love cheese. We love cheese on this side. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm adding a whole heap. Okay, so here is where we have the Ruffles. So typically people use breadcrumbs for this part. I chose to use Ruffles. I'm extra, so yeah, you could use Dorito chips too, or Lay's or Fritos, just to give it a nice taste. So I baked it at 375 in my oven for about 30 minutes, I believe. So this is what it's looking like. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you like this type of content down below. Comment what else you want me to make, guys, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.